Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to Riverbend Springs. I do hope you're doing very well and having a lovely day. So, I've just realised that I've got a bit of a lovely picturesque nature walk around the back of my farm here. So I just had a bit of a wander, a bit of an explore. It's nice to chill out now and again after a bit of field work, isn't it? But yeah, lots to explore on this map. I'm loving this thing so far. So, hope you're all good. So, here we are, episode 2, Riverbend Springs. And as you can see, in the top right-hand corner, I've taken on a contract. Now, this is another, I suppose, maybe another little feature that Giants have taken note of and added into the game, because obviously we had that as a mod, the contract HUD in Farming Simulator 22. We've now got a contract HUD in base game, so that's all good. So I've taken on a harvesting contract, and it is over in field 77, which is, if I bring up the map PDA here very quickly, as you can see, highlighted there, it's in this pretty much slap bang in the middle of the south of the map. So that's pretty cool. Another feature that I've just learned as well, I've just figured out, I don't think I've learnt about this from any of the early access content that's recently been released. But if you go to the map PDA, it's just another little nice touch. So if I come out of that and go into the map PDA, it automatically focuses on you as a player, so you're easy to find. I've only just realised this as I was I'd enabled flight mode and I was just flying around the map. But if I flew myself over here, for example, to the other side of the map, and then went straight into the map PDA, it would home in on you, as opposed to in FARMERSIM 22, where your character would still, it would just open the map to wherever you last had the map open to, if that makes any sense. So yeah, just another nice little feature that they've added into the game. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of others to discover along the way. So yeah, anyway, we do have our field of grass over there to crack on with. That we need to get that mown and obviously rode up and baled up with the baler and the wrapper, and get it turned into some silage to get a bit of money into the bank. But to get a bit more money into the bank as well, we are going to crack on with this wheat harvest. It's quite a big field. I think it's one of the biggest fields on the map. Let me just jump out of cab there for a second or two, just to make sure I'm not bumping into any walls. Yeah, I believe it's one of the biggest fields on the map, so it's going to take us a good few minutes. But it is paying just north of £13,000, so that's excellent. We could do with that. It was one of the most financially lucrative harvesting contracts to take on, so that's why I've gone for it. Get as much money into the bank as we possibly can. But yeah, now I'm recording this the day after I recorded the first episode, so I've got no idea how well the first episode was received, but I do hope you enjoyed it and found it a bit of fun. Right, let me just consult the map PDA here. Now we can go one of two ways. Oh, and look at that as well. It also highlights the sell point a lot easier. Sorry, the delivery point a lot easier as well. So previously in 22, obviously it was just the little number of the field that would flash and highlight which one we were working in, but this one's got a nice big red circle over it, so that's easy to spot. And the grain mill there is where we're taking it to, so we'll take that route just so we can see exactly where we're going. Now I might try and have a go with the AI workers for the delivering of the crops. I may not. Obviously I'm going to pop this whole job into another cinematic, but I might end up doing things myself. I'm not too sure how reliable those AI workers are. I know it has been worked over for 25. I appreciate that, so I might have a go at it. We'll see. But anyway, so yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying Farming Simulator 25 so far. I know I am. I've had a bit of a mooch around Hoot and Pantai very quickly. I've not spent a huge amount of time on there yet, but either way, I do have something planned in the very near future for that. And to all my channel members, again, hello to you all. Massive thank you for supporting me along the way. I did put up a community post out a couple of hours ago, but I have just opened up a server on Zilonka for you channel members there. I created 7 farms. I think that's the maximum amount of farms you're able to create on these multiplayer games. So there's 7 farms there, and they've all got 5 million quid in the bank. So should be more than enough to get a good start. So there's no vehicles or no farmland owned, so you've just got 5 million quid in a pot there to play with. Buy your land and your machinery, you know how it goes. Right, so let me just jump out of cab view very briefly. sell point. Sorry, the delivery point. Ah, it's on my left here. Right, okay. Sorry, delivery van. And I must admit, that's another nice, refreshing change, isn't it, from 22? The change, the difference in the AI vehicles driving around the map. Right, so that's where we've got to take things to there, isn't it? Very good, just so I know. Especially the school buses. There's quite a few of them, I must admit, but dotting around at all times of the day. But it's just a nice, refreshing change to see a whole load of different vehicles dotting around the map, wouldn't you say? It's pretty cool. And I have been, I've spent, quite frankly, an insufferable amount of time sorting out my graphical settings. Now, episode 1 came out yesterday, is coming out this evening, and I recorded that yesterday, and I must admit I was recording that very, very late on into the night. The game came out at like 1 PM. I spent many, many hours trying to dial in the settings of the game. Hello. Was that an attempted overtake then? And then he's beeped at me because he... Oh dear. Yeah, I spent so much time trying to get the game's settings right in order for me to be able to run the game at as good a visual quality as I could, and it took me such a long time. It took me from literally about 1 o'clock in the afternoon from when the game came out right the way up to about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, which is when I actually started recording the episode that is coming out this evening, episode 1. And I'll be honest, I was absolutely shattered. My head had gone, I must admit. I persevered and I carried on recording the episode, obviously. But, as I say, I was very, very tired recording that video. And so I watched the video back and I realised that there was a few occasions where I was my brain just kind of stopped working and I kind of stopped talking when I was trying to think of a particular word that I was saying. So I do forgive me for that, ladies and gentlemen. I am sorry. I've never recorded an episode so late. I was on it till about 2 o'clock in the morning, I must admit, and it had been a very, very long day. But anyway, I'm recharged up now, slept. Most of my brain cells are working in harmony together, so... Right, anyway, let's, in fact, we'll turn that off for a minute, and we're just going to flick quickly over to the tractor. We'll pick up the trailer and get this over to the field as well. Get this job completed. Get a bit more money into the bank. And then we'll see where the time takes us. It's 25 to 1 in the afternoon now. So we should have plenty of time ahead of us, and I'll see where we stand time-wise once this job's done. In respect of carrying on and getting this grass done over here and getting those bales wrapped. Fermenting away for us to sell in the near future. Hopefully get a decent amount of money for that. For those. Right, so crack on with this. I'll get over to the field and I'll pick you back up in a second or two. Now, what I was saying before about spending ages sorting out the graphical settings, it was one thing I just wanted to point out, because these things they are quite important to me. The first episode of this series I recorded in 4K, and that's how I used to do my Farming Simulator 22 content, because my computer used to run Farming Simulator 22 pretty well. But unfortunately, but then again it's completely understandable, it's obviously a new game with new features and quite understandably demands a little bit more from our systems. I'm now having to run this in 2K, which isn't too much of a problem, of course. It's first world problems and all that, but yeah, I recorded episode 1 and I created episode 1 still in 4K, and some of you who are, I suppose, like-minded like me, who appreciate the visual clarity and stuff, the first video was a bit jerky in places, especially when I was running the AI worker with the combine harvester when we harvested our wheat field. The movements around the vehicle and stuff were quite jerky, and I think it's all down to the frames per second, of course. That's what creates that. Now I've got it now set up so that it pretty much sits at a solid 60 frames a second everywhere you go, and that was for the purposes of smooth gameplay and making smooth cinematics. That's what I ideally need. But in 4K, asking quite a lot of the computer, it wasn't it just essentially wasn't having any of it. It was, you know, hovering around late 40s, early 50s, but it was hovering around, and that's the when the FPS moves up and down to different numbers, that's when you start to get a bit of jerkiness and stutteriness in the footage. So anyway, I do apologise for that for anyone who appreciates that kind of thing. I have now got it completely sorted, so I'm now recording and playing in 2K, but I'll be able to edit and render up into 4K, so that's the plan going forward. Now, I haven't actually tested it with an AI worker, so that's exactly what's going to happen here. I'm going to pop this whole job into a cinematic again, just for reasons only I can explain. I'm just going to move up a little bit further up into the centre of the field here to start off the job. Now, let's drop that down, turn that on. Let's make sure, although I don't think it really matters, although it would be interesting to see whether we can gain from any straw from this one. I'm not too sure if we can or not, but let's carve our way into the field there. There we go. Right. And now, if we hold down H, there we go. So, AI worker. Work the headlands, start with the headland, we'll go number of headlands 2. Now it's sending us sideways up the map instead of... Okay, don't know if there's any way I can reorientate that, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So now, just press H. There we go. And this should now keep us going. Now, again, another little interesting point. I'm just going to move away from the vehicle a little bit just to reduce the sound a bit. But the feature that was always there in 22 is there in 25 as well. So as you can see, we've got an AI worker driving the combine harvester. But if I jump into my wardrobe and just select my character, there we are. It works. That was a feature that I was really hoping would reappear in 25. So, excellent. We're up and running. Right, so time for a cinematic. I'll see you all again in a wee while's time when we're done, and we'll have a bit more money into the bank. Right, so this is us on the way to the grain mill with the last of the harvest. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried. If you have a look at the top right there, the contract HUD, as it were, is telling us to a 16% completed with the contract, which I know is complete nonsense because this is the last of it. When I did make the last delivery, it said 79% transported for field 77, so I know it recognised the amount, but something's bugging me a bit here because this is the last of it. The field is completely finished. 100% transported. Okay. Right, well this doesn't make much sense, does it? I'm almost certain I'm not missing anything here. Progress 20%. Yeah. We don't have to do anything with the straw. There's nothing... I'm assuming, because obviously if we go to the contracts menu there, other harvesting contracts don't require to do the straw, because if you were to lease the equipment to do the job, you'd expect you'd have to borrow a baler as well. So I'm assuming straw has got nothing to do with it. It doesn't say anything about straw in our active contract list here. Harvest the field and take the product to the specified selling station. We've taken it to the right selling station because it recognised it. It counted up, but we're 20% complete. So that's not very good, is it? So, right, what am I doing here? I'm going to get this stuff back to the farm, and I think I'm going to spend a couple of minutes. I might have to just because I'm not losing out on anything. Definitely not. I've spent a couple of grand on the workers alone, let alone missing out on the potential of just under 14 grand's worth of income. We did just get about $1,200 worth of residual crop value there when we tipped the last of it in, so it recognised that. But I don't know, these impatient drivers. Anyway, right, so I'm going to get everything back to the farm, and I'll put you up, hopefully. I might have to jump in and out of the game and have a look in the XML and see if I can just tweak the numbers a bit so it recognises that we've completed the contract. I've got no idea how to do that, so it will be a case of trial and error perhaps. But either way, I'm not losing out on the income. So I'll take a note down of what the job is paying. Look at that, just pulled out in front of a tractor. So yeah, I'll pick you up in a few minutes' time, hopefully, when things have been a bit sorted. Right, hello again, welcome back everyone. There's a few minutes in off camera there, but I have managed to get it sorted. So there's definitely a bug somewhere with the contracts. Like I said before, I think I seem to remember there was a similar issue at the beginning when Farming Simulator 22 came out as well, regarding the return on the contracts and getting it finished off. But thanks to the XMLs just coming in and out of the game and tweaking a couple of numbers, everything's sorted. And what I have actually done as well, if I pop into the finances screen, so $1,205 is what we got as a residual, sorry, from the top of that contract after all the quantities had been delivered. But yeah, I've added the 13365, which was what we were going to get for the contract, into the contract section in the XML, so it all looks correct in the finances here as well. So, and 3,498 quid is what we've paid out in wages, and that did include the previous harvest in the first episode as well. I appreciate that, but still, yeah, anyway, there we go. All sorted. Back to where we want to be. There's no way I was missing out on $13,300 just because of the sake of a glitch in the game. So yeah, should really let that be known to Giants. Although, let me know in the comments if any of you have had experiences with contracts so far in 25. Has anyone had the same issues? Specifically with the harvest contracts, of course, but either way, let me know. Very keen to, just for my own knowledge, so I know for future reference, just that if I do take on a contract, there's every chance that it's going to, until an update's fixed for it, there's every chance it's going to do that every time, isn't there? Oh well, it is what it is. Not the end of the world. We've all sorted now. So we've now got $38,614 in the bank, which is excellent stuff. And I'm now going to try and tidily reverse this away without taking the edge of my door off. There we go. That'll do. Nice. Right. So, that's done. Now, thinking on about, again, as you might have seen from that cinematic that I made for the harvest, the AI workers did quite a good job. The harvester itself in the field got every single grain of wheat from the field. It didn't miss a single stalk. So that was good. And regarding the delivery of the crop to the sell point, it did work once, and only on the way there. I set the AI worker to make its way to the sell point, essentially to deliver, and then I set it to loopings, and then gave it a destination to go back to once it had delivered the crop. And so it successfully delivered the crop, no problem at all, from where I set it off from. But then once it had delivered the crop, it left the sell point, got out onto the main road, and then just sat in the middle of the road and did absolutely nothing. The driver didn't leave the vehicle. The driver was still sat there. It was like he was just sat there having his lunch in the middle of the road. So, yeah, that's not quite, doesn't quite necessarily work at the minute, 100%. Whether I was doing something wrong or not, I'm not too sure, but the user interface for the AI workers is pretty straightforward. You tell it to do a simple thing, go from one place to another, and looping, I'm assuming, just means do it repeatedly. And it didn't do anything. So, anyway, little things, little things. Right, so, I think now we've got that done. We've finally got a bit more money into the bank. I think what I'd like to do now is go and attack my field of grass. So, we'll jump in our tractor. We're going to pick up our mower. Now, of course, I can't do anything with AI workers with this one, with it being it's not a defined field, it's just an area of grass. And I haven't parked my harvester in a suitable place to be able to get my mower out. How much room? Oh, I've still got room behind that, haven't I? So let's just pull back a few more feet. There we go. That should do. It says. Yes, I'll get that out of there, no problem at all. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this all by myself. And I think what I might end up doing is... No, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that looked like it was still sat on the floor. Oh no, my mistake. As usual. So yeah, I'm going to pop this whole job into a cinematic. But it'll be a bit of a time-lapse thing. I'll just stick a bit of music behind it and speed up the footage in the... to get editing a bit later on. But I think I'll try and squeeze... I'll get all three jobs done. I'm going to get the mowing, the rowing, and the baling and wrapping done. And, as I say, I'll stick a bit of music behind it. Now let me just get an idea. If I pop into the map PDA very quickly. If I bring up the farmland... Right. So I could do with getting an idea of where my land actually goes up to. Although, it looks like I own those trees as well, so I'm only really going to be able to go up to the edge of here, aren't I? So let's just check the boundary so I know where I'm going to. So if I go into the map here, well within my boundary there. And if I go right up to this tree line here, I'll just check I'm within the boundary as well there. Right, no, I'm off there, aren't I? So, I'm going to want to come to about, say what, here? Yeah, roughly. Yeah, looks about right. I think. Let's check that again. Yeah, that'll do. I think so. We'll just straight line that. Right. Let's get mowing. And I'll see you in a wee while. And there we have it. 32 silage, or fermenting grass bales at the minute, but 32 bales nonetheless. 3,500 litres a bale. We've got 112,000 litres, so in a wee while's time, 112,000 litres of silage. Now, the best price for that at the minute, it's $120 for 1,000 litres, and the best price is 121, I think. So give or take a bit, we've got about $13,500 worth of silage here. So that's all good. So I'm going to leave these in the field for now. I tell you what, it's been a while since I've seen such a sharp-edged bale, having the rounder wrapped bale mod on FARMERSIM 22 for such a long time. It's quite weird seeing these ones now. They're so neat and got such sharp edges. Getting used to lots of little things again, aren't we? Until we get a few more mods back into the mod hub. But yeah, there we go. Really happy with that. And we're still in the same... for the first game day of this series as well, so I feel we've actually had quite a productive time so far. We've got our own wheat harvest done, and we've got 50-odd thousand litres over in our silo. We got all the straw baled up, 44 bales worth, and sent over to the farmers market at the end of the last episode. We've done another wheat harvest today for somebody else, earned a chunk of cash, and we've got this grass mowed up as well. So all good, very happy with that. And it's still, what we're on, 25 to 3 in the afternoon, so whether we do crack on with anything else in this in-game day, I'm not too sure. We may well just bite the bullet and jump forward into September. But for now, for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the episode and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to my channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board. Please join the channel. Give the video a like if you can. It does wonders. Helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if any of you are interested in purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of helping out a content creator and supporting the channel, there is a host of links in the video description below for some Farming Simulator 25 content. You have the full game itself. You've got the Year 1 Season Pass, the MacDon Pack, the New Holland CR11 Gold Edition, and the Farming Simulator 16-bit edition as well. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Really appreciate your time, as always. And I'll catch you in the next video.